Spacey, Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice, and I think we're getting toward the end of Cinderella's route. Um, I don't know, we've got a few more choices left, but that means nothing. It could be like 4 hours before we get them or what, but we're getting closer anyway, so. Now we got our guide going because we already got a bad ending 4 times over because we kept just getting the same thing because whatever, so. It's really weird that at that point it doesn't matter what you choose, you're always going to get a bad ending if you don't get all the answers perfectly. But hey, we always do our first playthrough just seeing what happens, and then afterward we use the guide. So now we're at the guide point. But anyway, so we're on the way to a good ending. Cinderella! Dinner's ready! I made roast beef just like you wanted. No response. As soon as we got home, Cinderella shut himself up in his room. No matter how many times I called out to him, he refused to respond. Either he was asleep or he wanted me to leave him alone. Meanwhile, I couldn't stop thinking about what happened on our way home. I was pretty sure... No, I knew it had to be the reason Cinderella was hiding in his room. Who were those men in suits? And what business did they have with Cinderella? A tidal wave of questions washed over me, pulling me under. I returned to the kitchen to find Gretel and Snow White waiting for me. Where's Cinderella? Asleep, I think? Maybe our date really wore him out. As I spoke, I took a seat in what had become my usual chair. Oh, boo-hoo, poor baby. So did you have fun? Yep, it was great. I'm glad to hear it. And before you get started, please don't go into detail. Aw, come on. I slumped my shoulders in an exaggerated show of disappointment. Really, I was just trying to act like my usual goofy self so I wouldn't worry them. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to pull one over on Snow White. Normally he kept his gaze strictly averted, but here he was, staring me down. What's the matter, Snow White? At my question, he lowered his gaze back to his book. Nothing. You just have some crazy mood swings, that's all. The next morning, as I was gathering the laundry, Cinderella sleepily trudged out of his room. You know what happens when we fake yawn. Good morning, Cinderella. Yeah, morning. It's nice and sunny out today. Perfect weather to dry some laundry. I lifted the laundry basket in my arms. What's wrong? Cinderella glanced at me awkwardly, so I tilted my head in confusion. Sorry about yesterday. Sleeping through dinner and stuff. I had a feeling that was the case. Don't worry about it. I made sure to save you some. You can have it now if you like. I shot him a wink, and his tense expression noticeably softened. Cool. Sounds good. He smiled slightly. Oh, but first I'd really like to get the laundry taken care of. Could you fetch me your bed linens and your clothes from yesterday? Sure thing. Be right back. The matchbox is going to be in his clothes from yesterday. With that, Cinderella disappeared back into his room. Here you go. Are you sure you can carry it all? Daijobu. No problem. No problemo, motherfucker. Anyway, holding the basket against my hip, I took his laundry under my free arm. Anything I can help with? Let's see. Oh, I know. Could you help me get breakfast ready? Today we're having... Bagna coda? I don't know what it is. I've got it all ready, so if you could just heat it up and serve it, maybe add a garnish, that'd be great. Will do. I don't expect anything fancy, though. At my request, he nodded without hesitation. Saying that is just gonna make me expect the opposite, you know. Thanks for handling it, though. Worked like a charm. Once Cinderella had gone downstairs, I dug into his jacket pocket. Sure enough, I found what I was looking for. Shady! Girl! Found you! I pulled my hand out of his pocket and stared down at the matchbox in my palm. I knew it was wrong of me to lie to him and invade his privacy, but I had bigger things to be worried about. Asshole should take a shit out of his pockets before he throws his clothes in the laundry, I'm just saying. After all, I knew Cinderella would never come clean about this on his own. Maybe he would hate me for doing this, but if I didn't dig out the truth with my own 2 hands, we would never reach that happy ending. There's gotta be a clue. It was an ordinary matchbox in every regard, save for the words printed on the front. Match Girl Financial. Bingo. Match Girl Financial. So I wonder if it's a loan shark. So there I was, standing outside a fancy office building in a quiet residential district. This is the place, right? Swallowing hard, I checked the address printed on the matchbox for the upteenth time. Yep, this is the place. I entered the building, located the Matchbox Girl Financial office suite, and rang the doorbell. No response. Is anyone here? This time I tried knocking on the door. Hello? Is anyone there? Can I please come in? Just then. I flinched at the loud noise. They ran away? What do you mean you can't collect? Get out there and get my money. You got a death wish, huh? Hurry up and get lost. Yes, sir. Inside I could hear someone shouting at someone else. As alarm bells were ringing in my head, the door suddenly flew open. Move! Get out of my way! Whoa! The man slammed right into me, knocking me to the floor. Before I could get to my feet, however, I noticed someone else standing by the door. It's you. Sure enough, it was the leader of the group from yesterday. Excuse me. Who the hell are you? Oh, well, if it isn't the lovely lady from yesterday. Welcome to Match Girl Financial. As soon as the man in the black three-piece suit, let's call him Mr. Suit, recognized me, his tone shifted from threatening to wheedling. She's very clever with her naming. Hello there. I waved up at him from the floor. Goodness me, never expected to see you again and so soon. And I didn't even need to take the initiative. He offered me his hand, but I ignored it and got to my feet without his help. Where's Cinderella? Is he not with you today? I came here alone. There's something I'd like to ask you about. Oh, really? And what might that be? Oh, were you looking for a loan, perhaps? Or a job? Either way, I'm more than happy to help. That's why he's spending so much money. He's just borrowing money. His smile didn't waver. Clearly, he saw me as a harmless little girl. I mean, okay, so it was kind of obvious when his father was like, don't worry, everything will be okay. Like, they're basically marrying me and him so that they get money because they're out of money. But then I'm like, but he's just wasting money. But he's wasting money, I think, because he's been borrowing it. Because you're like, how could you waste money you don't have? You're borrowing it. I get it. Clearly, he saw me as a harmless little girl. Neither, actually. I'm here to ask you about Cinderella. I kept my tone firm. Don't you think you should ask him? I'm a busy man, you know. I don't have time to play around with you. I mean, come on. Out of nowhere, Mr. Suit narrowed his eyes and lowered his voice. You really think a girl like you just gets to walk out of here in one piece? He slammed me against the wall, blocking my escape. But I laughed in his face. You underestimate me, don't you? His eyebrows twitched. Perhaps you're dumber than I took you for. Do you honestly believe I would come here without knowing exactly who you are and what this is? You think I just waltz in here without any kind of backup plan? On my way here, I stopped by the police station to let them know my whereabouts. I said to them, I'm about to break up with my abusive boyfriend, and I don't know what he might do to me. So if I'm not back in 30 minutes, could you send someone to check on me? They were really understanding, actually. So you can do with me what you will, but don't think for a minute you won't get what's coming to you. I hope she actually did this, because this is smart as motherfucking shit. Smart as shit. I don't know if the cops would do anything, but, I mean, I'm just saying. At the end of my little speech, I smirked. A moment of silence passed, and then Mr. Suit sneered back. Ha! You thought of everything, have you? Very well, then. In light of your courage, I'll hear you out. No, in light of your fear. Now then, no sense in us standing around out here. Why don't you step into my office? You'll have to forgive the mess, of course. I'll choose where we have this conversation, thank you. I shot down his suggestion without a second thought. Clearly, he still took me for a fool. You really are dumber than I thought, aren't you? Do I look like I'm joking around here? I fucking love her. My God, this is one of the best MCs we've ever had. Keep wasting my time, and that 30 minutes will fly by. I promise you. Oh, actually, I forgot to factor in the time it took to walk here from the station, which means you've got about 20 minutes left. And if I don't contact them by the time those 20 minutes are up, I imagine they'll search this place top to bottom. All things considered, I get the feeling that would be pretty inconvenient for you, don't you think? Wouldn't want them inadvertently finding anything we're hoping to hide. And if you retaliate against me, things will only get worse. Please, all I have to do is kill you right here and now. Don't get full of yourself, lady. It was obvious my bold stance was rattling him. Kill me? I failed to suppress a laugh. What's so funny? I was just thinking, I'd love to see you try. It wasn't my best comeback, but that didn't really matter. It was all part of my strategy. After a moment of angry silence, Mr. Suit straightened his lapels. Huh, fine. Whatever. Lead the way then. And so I clinched a narrow victory. So what you're saying is, Cinderella borrowed money from your consumer credit agency. Yes, indeed. I chose to have this conversation at a busy cafe on the main road. Naturally, my hope was this conspicuous location would prevent him from trying anything funny with me. I sipped my iced tea as Mr. Suit explained his relationship to Cinderella. How much does he owe you? Oh, let's see. Something to the tune of $1 million. Jesus! Girl, you can't fix this. Right, I figured. Oh? This doesn't come as a surprise to you? He raised his eyebrows at me, but I got the sense he'd anticipated this. You know, it's strange. I didn't think I'd be this calm about it. Maybe part of me was expecting it. A group of men in suits, Cinderella's reaction, match girl financing. All told, surely I was bound to come to this conclusion. You're a plucky one, aren't you? What's your interest rate anyway? 10% every 10 days. It's pretty standard in the biz. I think you mean pretty standard for loan sharks. Nonsense! We're the good guys here. You want loan sharks? Some places charge 50% instead of 10. Be that as it may, 1,000% APR is still rather exorbitant. Do you know what the average bank charges? No, but even if I did, so what? We're not a bank. It's criminal is my point. Like, not just technically illegal, extremely illegal. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you know why crime never goes away? Because there's always people willing to break the law. My clients are all a bunch of scumbags, gambling addicts, sugar mamas and daddies, failed entrepreneurs, criminals. These degenerates can't borrow money from any of the usual places. That's why we cater to them. We need them, they need us. What a beautiful win-win relationship, am I right? And as for your beloved Cinderella, I'm afraid he's no better than the rest of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. His family used to be rich, at least. Who hasn't heard of Cinder Textiles, you know? His daddy started the company from scratch, too, with his pretty wife and adorable son. He was living on Easy Street. But as it turned out, that happiness was fleeting. While Cinder Textiles appeared to be thriving, in reality it was on thin ice. Then the bubble burst and their stocks crashed. All at once they were in the red across the board. In order to pay off their debts, not only did they try to liquidate their stock, but they barely even attempted to sell the bills. But they even attempted to sell the business as well as negotiate a futures contract. Sadly, none of it worked out. Meanwhile, their debts grew and grew, and now they're on the verge of declaring bankruptcy. So that's why he turned to you? I waited until he had finished his long-winded speech before asking. Bingo. Not like anyone else would give him a loan with that much existing debt, see? Is the debt entirely in Cinderella's name, then? No. Technically, it's his father's name, but Cinderella co-signed the papers. And if Papa decides to skip town, well, it's Junior who'll get stuck with the bill, you feel me? Not to say Cinderella's innocent, of course. He grew up rich, so he doesn't value money the way us normal folk do. Or maybe he's just trying to keep up appearances. He's so used to that decadent lifestyle he can't stop spending. Poor thing. But he can't even stop himself even if he wanted to. I see. I lowered my gaze to the table and stirred my iced tea with my straw. Is he making regular payments at least? I get the sense most loan sharks would come calling every week, but I haven't seen you try. Our contracts are somewhat unique. For 12 months, yes, a full year, we don't ask for repayment of any kind. And that's the perk that offsets our interest rate, you see. We don't ask for anything for a year, but every 10 days we charge 10% on your $1 million loan. I don't want to do that math. It sounds fucking ridiculous. I can't. That's... Holy shit. When's the payment deadline then? In 12 days. And what happens if he misses the deadline? Naturally, we'll take him to the cleaners. And from there, forced labor, selling a few organs, maybe both. He's got plenty of options. Rest assured, we will get our money. even if we have to chase him to the ends of the earth. Right. Well, thank you for telling me. My hand fell still. You're taking this really well, considering his deception. What do you mean? Well, your parents have arranged for the two of you to be married, yes? I've done my homework on you. Seems your family is fairly wealthy. They're all hunters, correct? What a pedigree you must have. Your father has been friends with Cinderella's father ever since the two of them first met abroad. How the fuck does this guy know more about our lives than we do? It's great. I like Shady Guy. We called him Mr. Suit, but he's still Shady Guy. I like Shady Guy. I gotta be honest. He's kind of a good side character with no CJ, with no, sprite. He's great. I mean, he knows more about us than we do. We're getting so much backstory from him. And at one point, life circumstances pulled them apart, but then some 10 years later, they reunited once more. And as they were reminiscing about the good old days, they got into the subject of arranging a marriage between their children. I mean, he is literally just pushing the story along. He's just been so that we get the backstory, but it's great. I appreciate it. Alas, if you and Cinderella had met as children, this little love story would feel like destiny, don't you think? But you and your family were lied to. Cinderella and his father deceived you. Once you and he were wed, they could receive monetary support from your father, or else use one of you as a guarantor for their debt. After that, they planned to go on the lam. Was this all your idea? Nope, Cinderella and his father came up with it all on their own. That explains why... Interesting, when we told yes, he should go through the marriage, but he doesn't know. I wonder if he doesn't know that we're the one in the thing. He just knows it's some rich girl, blah, 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 and he was planning this with his father. Because then we would have to be responsible because I'm his wife, right? But he doesn't know that I'm that person. He's just starting to think it's a bad idea and he shouldn't do it because we're trying to make him better. Wow. And the father's like, no, it'll be fine. I thought, well, they're going to marry me for my money this way, then they're not broke anymore. But, they're really just going to marry me so that they can sell me off to the loan shark. Wow! Damn! That's some harsh-ass shit. I see. I must say, I appreciate you telling me all of this additional information I never asked for. Fun. I was hoping I'd get to see the moment your heart shattered. Aren't you in love with him? Yes, I am. Then, I just don't see it as some huge betrayal, that's all. At this, Mr. Suit's smile vanished. Thank you for entertaining my request. I think I've asked everything I need to, so I'll be going home now. I got it from the table and grabbed the check. Oh, I can cover it. I'll just charge it to my expense account. No, I don't think so. I'm the one who dragged you here after all. And besides, I don't want to owe you a cent. I sneered at him as I spoke. Sue yourself. Well then, Miss Feisty, I look forward to seeing you again. $1 million. With it goes up every 10 days. That's a lot of money. Somebody do the math. I don't want to do the math. That sounds crazy. It's like $1 million. We might have that, but oh my God, it's been a year and it's gone up at least 36 times. I'm thinking 365 days in the year. Oh my God. From there, I quickly strode all the way back to our cafe. The sign on the door read closed. This came as no surprise, of course. After all, my conversation with Mr. Suit had lasted well past sunset, and now the sky was dark. Instead of going straight inside, I decided to walk around to the back entrance. Ugh, that was terrifying! All at once, the tension drained from my body and I collapsed to the ground. My heart was still thumping like crazy. I wish my pulse was racing for a more enjoyable reason. Oh, Cinderella. Now I knew the truth. His family was up to their ears in debt, and he only wanted me for my money. It should have come as a shocking revelation, and yet somehow I stayed calm. This is what you wanted to know. Maybe it was because I was already so tense, or maybe I'd subconsciously sensed the darkness Cinderella was hiding. All this time I kept lying and lying, afraid that he would hate me, that I'd lose everything. It might have been better. I lived my life dreading the moment the spell would be broken, and everything would come to an end. I was desperate to keep dreaming at any cost. I mean, so technically what the wizard said was right, because we're not going to have any money. but now it was time to face reality. But he's going to be covered in ashes from glass blowing because he's going to go and become a glass blower. We're going to have a nice little shop and everything will be happy. We just won't be rich. It'll be fine. It was time for the clock to strike 12 at last, or we're going to run like a motherfucker. Something like that. It'll be fine. I'm home. Hey, welcome home. You were out late today. When I walked in, Cinderella was the very first person to greet me. Sorry about that. I took a little detour on the way home. I donned a smile. You see, Cinderella didn't know that I'd gone out to meet Mr. Suit. I'd simply asked him to give me the afternoon off work. No problem. Everyone deserves a break now and then. But we only just had a break. It's fine. Like I said, you work too much as it is. And no one's going to care if you take an extra day off. But see, the thing is, he doesn't know that we were the girl he's supposed to marry. That's what makes it harder. For some reason, Cinderella was totally fine with giving me the time off. In fact, he was downright encouraging. Thank you. I'll go get dinner started. I stared at the floor. The second I let my guard down, I had the feeling I was going to burst into tears. Actually, about that. Huh? When I arrived at the kitchen, the table was laden with food Cinderella had prepared. Wow. This is incredible. I can't believe it. Nothing fancy, though, just omelets. As he spoke, he pulled out my chair for me. Gosh, I feel like a princess. Lucky for you, I love omelets. I sat down and promptly picked up my fork. Lucky me indeed. Of course. And then you have Gretel, who told me omelets are so simple a child can make them. No way, omelets are tricky, especially the part where you flip it over. Personally, I think this omelet is picture perfect. You're a very capable guy, you know that? You think so? Sure do. Well, even if it looks good, that doesn't guarantee it'll taste good. Now dig in before it gets cold. Right you are. I scooped up a forkful and put it into my mouth. It's so good. You mean it? I'm dead serious. I shot him a thumbs up. Gretel was a fool to dismiss Cinderella's cooking as child's play. It tastes divine. Cool. I'm glad to hear it. My cooking doesn't hold a candle to yours, though. He smiled sheepishly. Don't be silly. If all your cooking is as good as this, I could eat it forever. Well, if you like it that much, I don't mind cooking for you again. Whenever I want. And just sometimes when the mood strikes me. Otherwise, you won't get the chance to cook anymore, and we can't have that. Well, if I haven't won your heart, at least I've won your stomach. Took another bite of my omelet. Yeah. I've fallen completely under your spell. After a few more bites, I fell still. What's wrong? He peered at me curiously. Nothing, I just really like this moment we're having. I stared down at the half-eaten omelet. Here I am, eating dinner with my favorite person in the whole world. What more could I possibly ask for? I'd give anything to make this moment last forever. Alice. I set my fork down and sat up straight. Then after a deep breath, I summoned all my courage. Cinderella, do you have some free time later? I need to talk to you about something. Here we go. It's cold out here. I exhaled into my hands and rubbed them together. It's a little chilly, yeah. Give me your hand. He reached out in my direction. Yay! I happily did as requested, and he pulled my hand into his pocket. Ooh, hello. All according to plan. Keikaku? I don't know. Standing side by side, arm to arm, I peered up at him. You weren't cold, were you? Nope. Cinderella stared at me for a moment, then sighed and averted his gaze. Do you do this with all the guys you know? Do what? You mean stealth flirt with them? Yes, this! Whatever you want to call it! He sounded kind of frustrated. It was adorable! As I've told you before, no, I don't treat everyone with the same level of informality. You're special, Cinderella. I'm only messing with you because I like you. I can't help but wonder who taught you how to kiss ass like that. Sorry to say, you're looking at pure natural-born talent here. I bet you've got all the guys eating out of the palm of your hand. Sure, I've been known to break a heart or two. He furrowed his brows at me. What? Did you want me to deny it? You jealous. Fine, you got me. I'm jealous. You happy? Ha! He admits it. At full volume, no less. Hee hee! Cinderella, you truly are a pure delight. I'm guessing you aren't the jealous type, huh? You don't even have bat an eye when I told you that chick was in love with me. Do you even have any negative emotions? Of course I do. If you went off with some other girl, it would tear me up inside. Probably even cry about it. Oh, really now? But I wouldn't want to get in the way of your happiness. You're saying you'd accept second place. Second place, last place, whatever you decide. You can hate my guts for all I care. Oh, please. No one's that much of a martyr. You're right. Deep down, I really don't want you to hate me. And then which is it? Long story short, I've decided I'll do whatever it takes so the one I love can be happy, even if they resent me for it, even if it means the fun and games have to end. Even if you get hurt. Even then I'll do anything. Huh. You really are that much of a martyr. Cinderella looked like he was ready to burst out laughing. Maybe so. Or maybe I'm just doing it so I can feel good about myself. I'm a bad person like that. Yeah, you're a bit too smart for your own good. His words, his expression, his tone, it was all threatening to bring my little act crashing down. I mean, I feel like this is the point where we're going to have to get our next choice. So what did you want to talk about? I'm guessing it's serious, seeing as how you dragged me all the way here. I pulled my hand out of his pocket and took a step back. This was my big moment to get everything off my chest. What will you confess? Your love or the truth? Just FYI, we're confessing the truth because I got the guide. I'm guessing you're not about to profess your love. He laughed weakly. We kind of already did before anyway. No. I mean, I could, but you'd just shoot me down, right? Alice. Man, this place is dead, huh? I glanced around the streets. Just a few hours ago, the shopping district was buzzing with life. But now it was deserted, so if we confess our love to him, he shoots us down, and that's a bad ending. Because confess your love is a bad ending, but when he just said, she was like, I guess you'd shoot me down, huh? It's like, oh, harsh. I didn't expect that. I thought, this is supposed to be a romance game. Isn't he supposed to fall in love with us? The fuck? We're at the end here, yo. Anyway. Well, yeah, it's late. But we don't need the stores to be open to do a little window shopping. See? He didn't reply, so I kept going. Look, Cinderella, you're empty inside. You're scared, you're insecure, you're searching for something. Something that'll fill that gaping hole in your heart. So you fall back on retail therapy, hoping it'll fill the void. It's fun. It makes you forget how scared and lonely you are. I mean, I can't disagree with that. Lately, you've been giving me a lot of surprise gifts, too. That's your guilt talking, isn't it? You know you have a shopping addiction. You know it isn't healthy. So instead, you give someone else all the things you buy. Also, you can pretend you were doing it for them instead of yourself. You wanted to make me into your scapegoat. My chest ached. I knew this would hurt him, but I didn't have a choice. I had to tell him the truth. The truth is, I found this. I took the matchbox out of my pocket and held it up for him to see. Alright. He didn't seem too surprised to hear it. This is nice. We're confessing how much he's got a problem, but we're not going to say anything about what we're lying about. And I'm sorry, but I did a little digging. At this, the color drained from his face. Digging? As in you went and met with him? Yes, I met with him. Do you have any idea how dangerous he is? Relax. Nothing bad happened, okay? So there's no need to panic. How are you so freaking calm about this? What if something had happened to you? Oh, I wasn't worried. I was completely in control. You can be so weirdly rational about these things. One of these days it's going to be your downfall. His voice shook with rage, and I averted my gaze. I'm sorry. Then I took his hand in mine and summoned all my courage. Cinderella, do you remember that time you said we were strangers? You were right. We didn't know anything about each other. No, we purposely pretended not to know. But maybe it's time to drop the charade. Even if it means the fairy tale ends. Yeah. Maybe he already knows who we are. Cinderella, my name isn't actually Alice. It's Spacey. And that's your real name, right? I looked up to find his icy blue eyes staring back. glistening with grief. This hurts. I feel like this is the bad ending. I knew you were my fiancé. I knew the whole time. The first night you turned up, you were going by a fake name. But really, and that just made things more convenient for me. After all, you were a stranger to me, just as I was to you. So that's why you so generously allowed me to stay with you, and why you suddenly started to care about the cafe. Yeah, maybe you thought you were keeping tabs on me, but I was keeping tabs on you right back. We really are a match, aren't we? I gave a self-deprecating laugh, but he merely shook his head. No, we're nothing alike. I was just using you. Don't you get that? I was never really in love with you. I was just after your family's money. That's fine. What do you mean it's fine? He fell silent, taken aback by my curt response. I smiled softly, hoping to ease the tension even just a fraction. He's lying, though. I don't think maybe he doesn't realize it himself, or he's just in denial, but like I said, as long as the one I love is happy, I don't care what happens to me. Because this cannot be the good ending, is like we go off and it's like, we have to have a romancy happy ending. Like, otherwise, the fuck is this? Like, the fuck is this? Can I ask what made you decide to do it? You know, just for reference. There was a long pause, and then, back before my brothers were born, my dad screwed up the family business. We ended up with a lot of debt, and because of that, these loan sharks would keep hounding us. So in order to pay off our old debts, we end up creating new ones, until we'd gone past the point of no return. Do your brothers know about this? No, they don't know a thing. Everything had fallen apart by the time they were born. So that's why you're looking after them, isn't it? It sure is. Otherwise they'd have nowhere else to go. And that's why I needed the cafe. Even then, truth be told, we were at the end of our rope. My mom decided to get a divorce and the debt was nearly due. But right as everything was about to come crashing down, suddenly I had a fiancé. I was told you were a rich girl, and if we got married, your dad could probably help us out. Or at the very least, one of you could be the guarantor on a new loan. And that way it wouldn't have to end. And that way we could keep living our lives. Worst case scenario, we could always disappear. After all, the marriage was purely money motivated anyway, and not like I'd have anything to lose. All this time I looked down on everybody around me for being gold diggers, when in reality I was no different. Pathetic, isn't it? So you only care about me because you knew I was rich? Yeah. Well, what about right now? What do you want from me as of this moment? Is it my family's money or my forgiveness? Do you want me to be angry with you? Do you want me to cry? Do you want me to resent you for your betrayal? What do you want me to do here? Why are you asking me? I mean, how the hell should I know? Because you're the only one who knows the answer to this question. Think about it, long and hard. What I want. He stared back at me in wide-eyed shock. So I gazed back quietly. Because the thing is, like, do you want me to be mad at you? Do you want me to hate you? I want you to love me because I love you. Because he's like, I don't love you. I was just here after your money. But he does love you. He's just not fully aware of it. Like, she's like, I think you're an idiot. I hate your guts. You're always so calm and composed, like you've got it all figured out. I'll bet you're laughing to yourself right now, aren't you? You think I don't know what a worthless scumbag I am? Because trust me, I do. I should have pushed you away. I should have thrown you out on your ass. And that was the right thing to do if I actually cared about you. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. At first, it was just idle curiosity. Right when I was agonizing over the marriage talks, poof, there you were. So I figured I'd mess around with you. I never planned to fall for you. I was always going to toss you out sooner or later. So he just admitted he loves us. But the more time we spent together, the more I got to know you. And the more fun it became. I kept asking myself what's so great about her. Why do I want her around? And the answer is, I want you to love me. And the truth is, I want you to be with me. Oh! Precious little asshole. Is that really what you want? So what if it is? I'll bet you thought I would start hating you the second you told me the truth, didn't you? But au contraire, once the truth came out, You were going to hate me. That's why I could never tell you. The more you concealed about yourself, the safer I felt. I wanted our happy days to keep on going. I wanted you to stick around. But now it's all over. I always knew this would happen. I knew it couldn't last. And now, I have nothing left. So why do you keep acting like you still care for me even now? And why are you still smiling? Are you trying to screw with me? You think this is funny? Why won't you leave me? I'm not going anywhere, Cinderella. Why? Because I love you. I ran into his arms and pressed my lips to his. You like shock, CG! Oh, so cute. What? I don't care if you're rich or poor. You're still my prince. This is fucking adorable. It doesn't matter to me who you are or what you want. I've fallen head over heels for you. Is that reason enough? Isn't this proof enough that my feelings are real? I wiped the tears from his eyes. Don't cry, Cinderella. I love how fucking messed up he is and we still love him anyway, but it's like... But I still love him anyway, even though he's fucking messed up. I care about you so, so much. I will always be here for as long as you want me around. Actually, on second thought, I'll be here whether you want me or not. I'm a pushy girl, remember? No matter where you try to run, you'll never escape me. I love you, Cinderella. Never thought you'd say that to Cinderella. I love you, Cinderella. It's kind of fun. Spacey. 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 He held me tightly and I wrapped my arms around him in kind. I wanted to give him what he wanted. Anything to fill the void in his heart. Once upon a time, there lived a boy with a dexterous hand and a fragile heart. He was born to the richest family in town. Anything he wanted, he got. They lived a decadent lifestyle unlike any other, and the boy was happy. But that happiness did not last forever. One day, the boy's beloved father fell into massive debt, and once his father stopped spending money, everyone around them grew cold and distant. They were in trouble, but no one offered to help them. In truth, the townspeople didn't respect the boy's father for who he was. They were only interested in his money. Because of this, he too grew cold and distant, even toward his own wife and son. And once all the money had dried up, the debt collectors came one after another. Bam, bam, bam! Bam, bam, bam! The boy covered his ears to shut out the loud, incessant knocking. In a blink, he had lost his luxurious lifestyle, his happy family, and even his kind-hearted father. And so he learned that happiness was fleeting. Just like that, the boy's pure heart was tainted gray by a tiny drop of darkness. Before he knew it, everyone referred to him as Cinderella, the boy with a heart of ash. After that, Cinderella would spend money without even realizing it. He bought everything he wanted, and even some things he didn't want, just because he could. His heart was filled with fear and loneliness. These emotions dominated him, screaming at him to buy more, more, more. And so he heeded that voice and filled the holes in his heart with anything he could get his hands on. Whenever he went shopping, it helped him forget all the bad times by reminding him of those happy days from his past. He didn't buy things because he really wanted to have them. He bought them simply to have the experience of buying something. And yet, no matter how much money Cinderella spent, he could never obtain the thing he truly desired above all else. Why, you ask? Because he didn't know what that thing was. Because he didn't even... Man, I fucked that up! Damn it! We were doing so good! Anyway, why, you ask? Because he didn't even know what that thing was. We're doing so good to the last fucking line of that. Like, I was like, damn, I'm doing so good with this. Cinderella claimed he was trying to use me, but I knew he was incapable of such a thing. After all, I knew him to be an honest man, and a coward at that. Cinderella, do you remember the riddle I posed to you before? Have you figured out the answer? Do you know what that something is? No, I don't. His voice shook with emotion. Then I'll stay with you until you figure it out. I'll give you whatever you want, be it my money, my body, my heart, anything and everything. I can't give you anything in return. You don't need to. You can give me your heart. You love me, right? That's all I need. He sniffled, and I put on my sweetest smile. Because I love you. It's not over. There's still 2 more choices left in this game, is all I'm saying. So, fuck. That seemed like you're like, it's the most romantic, perfect, but it's not resolved. But you're like, wow, if that was the ending, you'd be like, I mean, what happened with the loan shark shit? But 2 choices left in this game. This is a long... Okay, 5 to 6 hours, these people read fast. All I'm saying. Because this is like, what, the 8th or 9th part? Yeah, we got a bad ending, and that was kind of short, so like, whatever. But I'm like, we're still going. We probably got another part left. I really wanted to finish this today, but I can't, so... The next morning, I went through and organized all the junk Cinderella had purchased. There we go. We'll return everything where possible, and if it can't be returned, then we'll sell it off. That'll get some of your money back. Then from there, we just need to hire a lawyer. Sound good? Yeah. I won't go on crazy shopping sprees anymore. I'll work hard to repay my debt a little at a time. That's the spirit. Just try to stay positive. I swear on my life. So please. He looked at me like a scolded child. I took his hand in mine. It's a promise. Don't worry. No matter what happens, I won't let go. Unless you spend all the fucking money that I just got, you son of a bitch. I mean, you gotta get help, bud. When we returned to the cafe, we fetched his brothers and told them everything. That I was actually Cinderella's fiancé, and that their family was in a lot of debt. They had very contrasting reactions, to say the least. What? We're in debt. No one told me about this. I knew about it, actually. What? I didn't experience it for myself, but Mother told me all about it. So I was the only one left out of the loop? Is that it? The thing about you, Gretel, is that you never much cared for our parents to begin with. And true that. Hey! True that, yo! I don't know why true that just coming out of fucking Gretel's mouth is just fucking bonkers funny. Oh my god. And that's the only reason you didn't know about it. It wasn't relevant to you, so there was no need to inform you. You don't care about your parents? And no one is obligated to, after all. Besides, our family life is rather complicated. His voice was flat and monotone. I got the sense I was better off not prying further. There was a long moment of silence that persisted until Cinderella finally broke it. So you're not mad? What about the debt? It's a little late now. Nothing out of the usual for you anyway. Sorry. If you knew it was the wrong thing to do, then you shouldn't have done it in the first place. But then again, maybe you wouldn't have seen the light without her help. Gretel turned his gaze to me. His eyes seemed to say, "Take care of my idiot brother for me, will you?" I really hope they release the second one because I think Gretel is also in the second one because I think the next paths, it's Cinderella Red Riding Hood, but I think it's Kaguya and Gretel. And I really fucking am curious about Gretel if he's gonna be a little dark and a little, because he's kind of got a little anger in him. He's kind of a little like angsty underneath his sweet little soft snowflake, adorable exterior, and I kind of can't wait for this. Like, he's so sweet and precious, and you're like, aw, you're kind of a dick underneath. You are angry underneath, and you're like an angry little mutt. He's an angry cookie. Because he's like snacks. He's an angry cookie. Ooh, you're an angry cookie, and I just want to take a bite out of it and figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm serious. You know. And Kaguya, oh, you motherfucker, you're hot as shit. I love you. I can't wait for the second one to come out. I mean, like, I know we're not even done with the first one, but I'm just like really like so invested in this that I'm kind of pissed that it's not the full game. It's only part 1, and we may never get the part 2. And like, holy crap, what am I gonna do? Anyway, his eyes seemed to say, "Take care of my idiot brother for me, will you?" Silence descended once more as the 4 of us contemplated what to do. Oh, we should all go live with Mother. Snow White was the first to offer a concrete suggestion. If we side with her, we won't be held responsible for Father's debt. I'm staying here. After all, it's partly my fault that we got into this mess. And besides, I can't betray Dad like that. What about you, Gretel? I'm not going to take sides. What? Then what's your plan exactly? I'll live on my own. You're still a teenager. I'll figure it out. And just because our father's in debt doesn't mean I want to go live with our mother. As the youngest son, those two never gave a rat's ass about me anyway. And the debt has nothing to do with it. I want to stay here then. No thanks. I'm leaving. No, but Gretel, we're all bros and I want my friends to hang. Don't leave me, boys. Gretel averted his gaze. I don't belong here anyway, but I love you. All right. That's so sad. I feel so bad because, like, Cinderella fucked up, but he kind of does care and love his brothers, and they're, like, gonna leave. Aw. They're gonna abandon him. I mean, he was a dick for a long time, but, like, he did love them underneath, and I feel sad. The next day, not wanting to drag out their goodbyes, the boys decided to leave the house early that morning. Cinderella and I saw them off at the door. What the fuck is Gretel gonna do? He bakes, but he doesn't want to actually do anything. Like, are you sure you want to stay here, Cinderella? Yeah, I'm all Dad has left now, and I feel bad leaving him alone. He may be a total deadbeat, but I figure at least one of us ought to stick by him. Besides, you guys never really knew him the way I did, and don't let it hold you back. Right. And not like you're going to leave the country, right? So there's no need to get all worked up. We can hang out anytime. Indeed. In the end, we'll always be brothers. Oh my god, Gretel, you do love Cinderella! Oh my god, this is so great. I thought you were gonna leave all pissed off. You're like, I'm leaving, and you're gonna leave all angry, but you don't. You love him. You my little angry cookie. Ah, so cute. Snow White looked up, a tiny smile playing at his lips. Oh, look, our little dainty snowflake is smiling. I love them all so much. All right. No matter what happens, we'll still have each other. Cinderella, do try to make her happy, won't you? I will, I promise. Until I sell her organs on the black market and she dies. Whatever. And Gretel, well, I'm sure you can look out for yourself. I hope you'll take better care of your health. Yes, I know. Coming from someone who doesn't eat. Arisu, my brother's in your hands now. Understood. Take care, Snow White. I hope to see you again soon. Until then, I see you around. He's so sweet. I just want to give him a little head pat. Pat, pat. And with that, Snow White walked out of the cafe. So it's funny, Gretel is technically the lolly boy because he's going to be the one that's like 17, 18. He's going to be younger than us, but doesn't seem like it at all. Oh, well then. I guess I'd better be going as well. Once Snow White was gone, Gretel picked up his suitcase. Are you sure you want to leave? Unlike Snow White, who was going to their mother's house, Gretel had no set destination. I couldn't help but wish that he would change his mind. I'm afraid so, but first. He gazed at me for a moment, and I tilted my head in confusion. Then out of nowhere, he grabbed me by the hand and pulled me close. Kiss? What? What? Hey, you're a truly charming woman, Arisu. Maybe if things had worked out differently, I would have fallen for you myself. They will. In the next time. Not next path we go down, but in part 2, probably. When they, Anyway, he shot me a seductive smile as I clutched my cheek in surprise. He's a cheeky cookie! Thank you, Gretel. You're a charming guy yourself. I smiled back at him. Glad to hear it. Hey, you little punk! Meanwhile, Cinderella was shaking with rage. Naturally, Gretel saw this and decided to rub salt in the wound. And thanks for the great treat. It was delicious. Gretel! I'll see you again someday. With a gallant wave of his hand, Gretel turned on his heel and strode out of the door. Who knew he was going to be such a feisty little cookie? Told you I want to take a bite. Oh, I love him. He's great. I love all the characters in this. Yeah, see you around. Even Alice, who is like a pain in the ass. Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about them as love interests, but I love them all as characters so far. I waved goodbye. I would miss having him around, but I knew he was more than capable of taking care of himself. That asshole always has to have the last word. And you! How could you just let him do that? I I'm standing right here, damn it. He glared at me, but I shrugged my shoulders. I'm not going to be rude to my future in-law. In-law? Assuming we get married, that is. But of all the possible choices we could make, I'd say it's definitely on the table. Oh, right. His anger instantly deflated. An awkward silence descended between us, and I fixed my gaze on him. Well, looks like it's just the two of us, huh? Yep. Cinderella looked away. Catch! Without warning, I dashed up and hugged him. Huh? And now we can be all lovey-dovey without anyone bothering us. Lovey-dovey. We're dating now, remember? I love you, you love me. Oh, all right. So, now that we're officially an item, there's only one thing left to do. Can you guess what that is? Girl. Have sex? This comment hit me out of nowhere like a ton of bricks. There's only one thing left to do. Have sex? I thought that's what she was thinking. Oh, son of a bitch, I love this game. Shit just keeps coming at you. You just don't know where it's coming from. Oh my god, this is just... Go birdie. Shit. How will you respond to the smack him, ignore him, change the subject? The right answer is ignore him, but I do want to smack him. Smacking him leads to a bad ending, by the way, but a cheeky little bitch. I kind of wish it was just like a good ending and then like a neutral kind of ending or whatever, and that like, for things like that, smacking him wouldn't lead to a bad ending, but... I fell silent. Huh. What's wrong? It's not like you to clam up like that. I'm ignoring you. Come on, say something. I'm ignoring you. Are you ignoring me? Nods. I guess I can't ignore him completely. Fine. You get body gestures and that's it. Look, I'm sorry. Please just talk to me. I forgive you. I giggled. Back on topic. But that is exactly what I was thinking, and I just think it's funny that he said, have sex? I stepped away from him and cleared my throat. All right, Cinderella. Let me ask you again. What's the first thing a new couple does? Hug? So this. Bingo! I snapped my fingers. Are you cool with me hugging you? Of course. Whenever, wherever, preferably as tight as you can. I do like the way he thinks, though. I'm just saying. I spread my arms out wide, inviting him. Oh, it didn't click. He sidled up to me and gently pulled me into his embrace. I'm so happy. I nuzzled my face against his chest like a kitten. Hey, Spacey. What is it, Cinderella? I look up to find him gazing intently back. My heart skipped a beat. Can I kiss you? Kiss me? Wow, this is sudden. My voice cracked in my panic. Really? I've already kissed him. Why were we... What do you mean sudden? I've been waiting to do this the whole time. We're dating now, right? So what's the harm? That's strange. All of a sudden he's pushy, aggressive, dominant perhaps. I mean, you let Gretel kiss you, didn't you? And I also kissed you outside last night when we started this, so I don't know why this would freak me out. Did she forget that? Did he forget that? Did I imagine that? That happened, right? I'm pretty sure it happened. That was on the cheek. In certain countries, that barely qualifies as a greeting. Yeah, well, this isn't one of those countries. Touché. And she said touché. This game gets better and better. Please. Oh, for crying out loud. How can I possibly say no when you're begging me so sweetly? Okay. Pulse racing, I closed my eyes. He cut my cheek, and I felt his breath against my skin. At last I was gonna have my first kiss. Unless you count the one from earlier that I initiated. In which case, this is my second. I don't know who it is. Hey, lovebird. Oh, is it Alice? Hey, lovebirds. I'm still here. Sorry. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. A romantic moment is ruined. By other than that, just peachy. Oh, but other than that, I was like, a romantic moment is ruined. But other than that, just peachy. Ugh. How long have you been standing there? Cinderella turned and pointed at the intruder. Naturally, that intruder was none other than... You didn't notice? Well, you two were busy acting out the climax of your stupid little rom-com. I was standing here the entire time. This is why I hate couples. The second they hook up, they go off into their own little fantasy world. Sickening. I can't wait to romance him at the very last path. Alice, the mood breaker. All right. I kind of forgot you existed. Whoops. It's rare to see you outside of your room for a change. I just felt like it. Do you seriously think I stay up there 24/7? I mean, yes. Well, I admit I'm pale and waifish like a porcelain doll. I make sure to get enough sun so I won't wind up with osteoporosis. Anyway, don't try to change the subject. Darn, guess that won't work on you. Truth be told, I would have preferred we gloss over the part where you witnessed our entire lovey-dovey exchange, but evidently that was too much to ask for. I know your game, you monstrous evil witch in sheep's clothing. Frankly, I'd love to know what you see in her. She's cute and sweet and funny and smart and a good cook. She's basically all around perfect. Who doesn't want somebody that's like Cinderella and thinks you're perfect? Also, you're rich. That's a bad thing, but whatever. It's a total 180 from your smile is worth 10 points, but I'll take it. Oh, Cinderella, I love you so much. I love you too. We shared another tight hug. Enjoy the show, Alice. Ugh, forget I asked. And leave some food for Jesus. Oh, leave some room for Jesus. Leave some room for Jesus. I thought he was asking us to leave. I saw the room, and I thought he was asking us to leave some food for him at his room. And then leave some room for Jesus. The writing in this game is just fucking impressive. This really, really reminds me of London Detective Mysterio with how great and like above and beyond like that. The writing in that game was like so poetic and beautiful, and this is just so spot on and just so fucking like real. Like there's what fucking Gretel saying true that. What the actual fuck? Still can't get over that shit. Oh my god, this is great. He stuck his arm in between us, forcing us apart. Leave some room for Jesus. There's some gems. Ugh. Well, it appears the others have moved out. Rest assured, I plan to stay right where I am for the time being. Not like you have anywhere else to go. I mean, neither did Gretel, but... Cram it, you dickless beta cuck. What? Alpha or beta has nothing to do with it. I believe in an equal relationship between two partners. So you say, but you really love to wear the pants, don't you? And now you got his balls in your purse. Fucking Alice! Fucking Alice! Good thing you're not 40 and balding or a doddering old geezer, huh, Cinderella? The good news about being a broke, worthless loser who only merits his looks is that now you have undeniable proof that she's not after your money. As Alice's snide tirade continued, Cinderella nervously turned to me. Why did you fall for me anyway? Your looks, obviously. And your voice, I suppose. You got a sexy voice. Okay, not the voice I give him. But like Daisuke Hirakawa, yeah, I could see that. This would be the better one. Let me turn the lines on back on. Like, why did you fall for me anyway? Yeah, you got a sexy voice. It's not Daisuke Ono. But it still works. Again, not the one I gave him. That's not sexy in the slightest. None of mine are, but... Just remember, Saint Germain. I really want to like pause it, stop, go to the thing, and then just play the thing so you can be like, this is his voice. Point Alice. We'll do it at the end. Hold on. Nobody asked you, Alice. I do. Ahem. I love you, Spacey. Come here, cutie. Like he's trying. You really don't have to force it. I appreciate the effort, but that is not what you sound like. I admit, you're quite good looking, and you have a manly voice. He does not. In the voice I gave him, he really doesn't. But while I love those things about you, there's more to it than that. Then let's hear it. He's a sweetheart on the inside. Shouldn't he be a sweetheart on the outside? He's secretly a hard worker. Is he really a hard worker if he keeps it a secret? He's really good with his hands. And yet he has nothing worthwhile to show for it. Look, sometimes people just fall in love and there doesn't have to be a reason. How are you guys straight up dunking on me? You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it! Cinderella slumped his shoulders at a perfectly synced reaction. Oh dear, I think he's legitimately upset. This is the greatest. As his girlfriend, it's my job to soothe him. There, Cinderella, don't worry. I still love you whether you're 40 and balding or a doddering old geezer. I stroked his hair. Are you sure about that? Fine, whatever. Have fun dancing like a clown in the palm of her hand. Personally, I can't begin to fathom what you two see in each other. But perhaps you're just that compatible. Then leave us alone, would you? Ha! Don't you worry. As long as I'm around, I haven't the slightest intention of letting you people turn this place into a den of sin, you hear me? Not even a fraction. Leave some room for Jesus. Sorry. That was so fucking unexpected. Oh, God. As long as you don't have a weird exhibitionist fetish or something, I'll be around to interrupt you for a long, long time. Oh, and for the record, while we meet at your sleeping quarters, the instant I detect any kind of funny business, I'm gonna slam you against the wall. Good day. By slam us against the wall, I had a feeling he didn't mean the fun, sexy kind. I fucking love the way she thinks, because he did slam you against a wall, and my brain was like, that's not what he means, Spacey. And then she said it. I was thinking it, but she said it. And I gotta give this game high fives. Like, I can't. Done with his rant, Alice turned on his heel and left the room. This is one of the greatest games I've ever played, and holy fucking shit. So, about that kiss. I think it's gonna be on hold for a while. Cinderella let out the world's heaviest sigh. We're gonna have to end this part here, but we still have another part to go because we still have one more choice to make. I would assume we're gonna get that in the next half hour or so. So we'll probably have one more part, and then we'll do a part with the bad ending. So at least 2 more parts, because I don't want to do the bad endings after we get our good ending unless it's literally 5 minutes in. But then you won't know, and I'll edit it into this one, and you won't know the difference. So, anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.